Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. On tonight's verses, we have Balcones Baby Blue coming in at a 46% ABV, at least 12 months old, versus Balcones True Blue coming in at a 50% ABV, at least 24 months old. So I'm a big fan of Balcones. I just really love what they're doing in Texas. I found out I like a lot of whiskey coming from Texas. And from what I remember on my reviews, it's been a bit, but I really liked the Baby Blue over the True Blue, which I went into it originally thinking I was going to love this more. Now, it's been a while since I've reviewed those, but I wanted to sit down with these two to really do an A-B comparison, because for the most part, these are identical bottles. They're both using blue corn, and the only big difference is the few more percentages of ABV over the Baby Blue that the True Blue has, plus an additional year, essentially. But let's do an A-B comparison on, find out what the big differences are. So we'll talk about color, notes, taste, wrap it up in the market price section, and pick a winner. So let's get into things. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit. If you are a Balcones fan like I am, I have reviewed many of their products, and they'll be linked up above and down below, so you can check those videos out afterwards. I was looking around my shelves trying to figure out what I wanted to do a comparison video on. I was like, man, I haven't done anything with a Balcones versus. I definitely want to do a peated version of a face-off, but I haven't gotten that far yet. I mean, on color alone, the True Blue knocks it out of the park. This is almost like over-steeped black tea, where this is almost like their pot still. It's kind of light. It got a little dark, kind of golden color going on there. But I'll tell you what, that is like over-steeped, like herbal tea on the color. Well, let's start off on notes on the Baby Blue. Oh man, see, I just love that nose. It's sweet, little dusty corn, little waxiness in there too. But I always give Texas whiskey credit because you don't get these, oh, it's kind of got a youth note to it usually. And I'll tell you what, for only upwards of 12 months old, it's beautiful. It's soft and sweet, little dustiness in there, but the blue corn just does a beautiful job. It's not overly complex, and that's one thing you do have to think about when it comes to something like this. But it's sweet, almost like vanilla icing sweet, but that corn in there is beautifully soft. As you keep going back, you do get a deeper leather note going on, and that little bit of oak vanilla caramel that a lot of bourbons are known to have, but the oak characteristic is very soft. And again, probably only because it's 12 months old. So it's not going to have that big, deep oak impact from there, even though you're getting that Texas heat. But overall, simple, sweet, and inviting to me personally. No ABV, no off notes, nothing harsh on the nose. So let's go for notes on the True Blue. Odd. Wow. So on the surface, they are very similar, but it really takes you going back and forth to start picking apart the differences here. You are getting a bit more rich and depth going on in the True Blue. It's almost like a black tea, and it's just lightly steeped. Along with that bit of oak, you are getting that sweet blue corn in there too, which is very nice. The leatheriness is showing up, and it's just got a little bit more heft to it, if that really makes sense. But they are very similar on first pass. If anything, this is just a sweeter version of it. Definitely get a little bit more earthy, almost like almost a savory note from it. That is very nice. No ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. But I'll be honest, I'm actually liking the Baby Blue a little bit better. That sweet factor that corn's bringing in, just a little more lively, and it's just got a little more characteristics going on here. However, this has just got that depth that if you like a darker, heavier whiskey, it's probably going to be more up your alley. But on the nose, I'm definitely going to give it to Baby Blue. Let's go for taste now. Blue corn right up front. You're getting this big burst of sweet corn, and then this oiliness, almost that Texas taste going on with it. So it's a little oily, almost like the inside of a smoker. Rounds the palate really well. A little bit of vanilla. The charriness is definitely showing up on the taste. and it clings really well. That leatheriness is starting to show up here with a bit of earthiness, giving you that kind of a worn pair of boots vibe. I really like this one. It does have a bit of that Texas characteristic, which some people love and some people hate. Personally, I really like it. I love the oiliness to it. It's simple, sweet, got that corn dustiness going on in there, but overall, it's a real good sip for only being 12 months old. All right, let's head over to the True Blue. It is oilier, a little more rich, dark, and it's got that almost that chocolate cacao vibe going on. Dustiness really has settled with that blue corn. It's not quite as upfront as the baby blue was, but you're still getting those blue corn vibes from it. Like, that's got some heft to it. And surprisingly, with only being a few ABV points higher, you're not really getting any more burn necessarily, but that 12-month difference really is showcased well here. Definitely getting those steeped black tea notes going on, and a little bit of almost a fruitiness going in here now on my second sip. If anything, I would say just a nice, simple orchard fruit. Not apple or pear or anything, but just maybe a little bit of peach, or a little bit of like a, I don't know, but there's just a little tinge of a sweet factor from a fruit in there. But I gotta tell you, it's almost like drinking black coffee. It's thick, and it's got some character to it. Let's go back to the baby blue here. And honestly, you can still get a lot of characteristics from that baby blue. The big thing for me is almost that sweet vanilla showing up here. Where here, it's just that more rich heaviness going on. Honestly, this one's a really hard one to give a true winner to, because I gotta say that while I love this light, youthful, and it just comes across such a vibrant taste, that True Blue brings the heft, brings the darker characteristics. This is the young brother, and this is the older brother, and it definitely shows that extra 12 months, what it can really do. Personally, I'm going to give the taste now. Honestly, now that I've had them back to back, I'm going to give taste to the True Blue. That rich milk chocolate going on with that bit of coffee and the black tea. It's got more complexity going on, which is expected with that extra 12 months, but it does showcase itself very well. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So here in Indiana, I picked this up for about $38, and I picked this one up for, I think it was about $47, $48, if I remember right. When I look at pricing online and some other markets, these do fluctuate quite a bit. I've seen this creep a little closer to $30 in some markets, and I've seen this creep a little closer to $40. So if I was coming down to it and I seen these both on the shelves again for $38 and $47, I'm probably still going to pick up the baby blue, and here's why. Nothing against the True Blue. I think it's great depth, rich flavors. But if I'm looking for a bourbon in that price category of almost up to $50, there's some great heavy hitters out there in the Kentucky range and in the Texas range. But in that mid $30 price range, this is a hard one to beat in my opinion. Yes, it's only 12 months old and some people will criticize that. But the flavors they can bring across in that short time span, it does a great job. Though to be honest, I don't think you can go wrong with either bottle if you're looking to get into Texas whiskey and Balcones specifically. And when it comes down to it, I gotta give credit to what 12 months can do to that whiskey, because it is bringing across some phenomenal flavors that I don't think a lot of regions can get in such a short amount of time. That is a gorgeous sip. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Balcones Baby Blue versus Balcones True Blue. If you have any questions about either bottle, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should put up against each other for an A-B comparison, also let me know down below. I love doing these side-by-sides. It helps me learn, helps you make a smart decision on buying something. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might